Hello, everybody. This is Robin.
And Raya's Amazing Rays.
Yes. And so we are coming to you guys this week with another video to help you in your business working from home. Gosh, we created this YouTube channel, Robin and Raya's Amazing Grace, simply to create and be a source of light and hope and inspiration to anyone who is wanting to build a sustainable and lucrative home-based business, and through this vehicle create a life that you've always imagined.
And y'all, we really hope also to add value by sharing these tips and trainings and helping people in your sphere of influence truly achieve true wellness in all four pillars of health. So we are super duper excited to come to you today. And we want to talk about comparison, right? Comparison, y'all, is a thief of all joy. And you cannot continue to, or you may not be, but you cannot compare yourself or yourselves to other people. And I want to share this today because all of our journeys are different. And, Robin and I were talking earlier, and I see a lot of people, and it just breaks my heart when I see people on my team who are comparing themselves to other people. And especially when it's super duper early on. And by early on, y'all, I mean like at least first couple years, first few years.
Right. I'm like, first 5 years.
Right.
First 5 years, you ain't even gotten started
Right.
unless you've been in this joker for 5 years.
Right. Right. And y'all, I see people like, oh, I didn't do fast start gold in my first 30 days. Maybe this isn't for me. And I'm like, housewife said, what? I'm like, what are you saying? No, 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 no. And I'm like, no, you have like, first of all, like Robin says, and I love when you say this, Robin, if it's easy, it's sleazy. Right. And I don't know anything in life. I know zero things in life that are worth it, that happen quickly and are just really wonderful, like really fast. Right. So in 30 days, it's just, you're at the pinnacle, you're at the top, and it's great and it's good and it's, and it's sustainable. Nothing is like that, y'all. Nothing. I mean, you have to go to school usually 4 years to even get a degree. And then you got to do some more work after that, right? It's like, you find out you're having a baby. You got to wait almost a year, before you see that. So it's different things, y'all. Nothing is just going to happen like that. And I see so many young people on my team that are looking at other people that have done this fast start or that fast start, and they're comparing themselves. And I'm like, no, especially if you're comparing yourself and you don't want to put in the work, right? And you don't want to do your daily tasks and IPAs. And it's like, you have to continue doing that. And that is also growing. So we live in this immediate gratification world. And it is just, it's just messing us up on all kinds of ways, y'all, because really you just have to continue doing your work every day. You have to continue planting seeds, and that is part of growing your business. And there are people that I talked to when I first started Plexus. And here we are nearly a year and a half later, which is still very soon, still very early. And they're starting to reach out to me. And I planted that seed, y'all, like a year and a half ago. And these people are like, sharing the business also. So I just wanted to come on here and say that if you're just going to say, oh, this is not for me, even in your first year, your first 2 years, because you're not where you want to be or where you see other people being, then you're just cheating yourself out of so much. There's a lot of personal growth here. There's a lot of just professional development here. And gosh, and these relationships that you're making, relationships that you're creating. And when you continue on your journey, it gets so good, y'all. It gets so amazing. And you're just going to miss out on so many wonderful things, so many wonderful things. And I'm going to pass it over to Robin in a moment, but I want to talk about the differences that I see and the challenges with my team, because we started growing very quickly. So I went diamond in a year, and I have Jules who went emerald in like 4 months and 5 months and under a year. All of my Jules went emerald and sapphire in under a year. And we're growing, and people on our team are looking at us and saying, well, I've been doing this for 4 months now and I'm not emerald yet. And I'm like, whoa, that's stop, wait, And so and what we did is out of the norm, right? And I I'm in this place in my team where I'm like, yes, that's great, but it's also great if you don't, right? It's also great if you don't. And it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And I've just really been focusing on that with my team because I love them so much. And, I just want to continue to see them grow and go, as I like to say. And it is about the journey. It is about the journey. You cannot compare yourself because everyone's journey is different for a very specific reason, for different reasons. So I'd like to be quiet because Robin has a lot of insight on this also.
Well, I just love that you shared just this whole idea of everybody's journey looks different and different for a reason. God called me to be the leader of our team. I literally could break down point by point, but I won't, of how I know for a fact that my whole life was set up for me to be in the position that I'm in now. I am one of the few people probably on my team that I had the ability to walk away from my career as a gold ambassador, right? I was in a position to do that. Most people are not in a position to do that. I was also in a position that the Lord really, just through my DNA, I mean, if you know, like my background, my mother, my father's mother, my grandmother, was the first minority state public defender in the state of Indiana. She broke major barriers in her time. And she was a very successful attorney. And so a lot of her characteristics, like literally, I was born with those characteristics of being able to persevere and persist without exception, right? And everybody doesn't have those natural skill sets. You can learn them, and we teach them on our team. That's what's so amazing about it. But everybody just doesn't naturally inherit a lot of those characteristics. I also had a mother who my dad prematurely died, and my mom moved in with us. And so I was uniquely positioned to be able to take on the task of building up our team in the way that we have, create the structure and the systems and build the team culture so that we could foster in people like Raya and her amazing team to go fast. Does that make sense? And so the Lord uniquely positioned me to be able to do those things. And so therefore it took me a lot longer to get to where I was going. Plus, the Lord knew before I even clicked join that I would click join. And he also knew that when I did click join, that I was going to need to have a story that would resonate with every single person that ever joined me. And so my journey had to take longer than Raya's because I was going to come before everybody else to show them what is possible. And so one of the things I will say, Raya, that really kept me going from the beginning in my business, that gave me very serious perspective, and this is full circle moment for me now, y'all, is one of the very first books that I read when I started network marketing was a book called Beach Money. Happen to have it sitting right here. Didn't even know I was going to talk about it. It was a book called Beach Money. The book is written by a man by the name of Jordan Adler. Don't even know who suggested this book, y'all. I didn't really have an upline pouring into me. So I literally just started devouring things, trying to learn about this whole industry of network marketing because I felt like I'm changing my career path. So therefore I need to learn this industry, right? So I started reading this book, and this man's story, Jordan Adler, he literally joined like 12 network marketing companies over the course of 10 years. And the first 11 network marketing companies he joined, he never sponsored or recruited one person. Not one. So when I first read that story, girl, 7 years ago when I first started Plexus, that gave me major perspective because I was like, okay, it took me 7 months to get to gold. It took her 13 months to get to diamond. It took me 7 months to get to gold. And I had major perspective from the beginning because I had read this man's story where he's talking about it took me 10 years to even recruit my first person and 12 companies later to recruit my first person. So then when he finally joined the right company, his mindset was in the right place. He'd done the personal development. He'd done the personal growth. He stopped quitting on himself. He got to this last opportunity, the 12th one, and he made his first million. And this man literally wrote this book, Beach Money, because he's literally teaching people how to persist without exception in a business like this so that you can create the life that you've always imagined, which is part and parcel to why we do this whole series, this whole YouTube channel, but also to create a life that you don't need a vacation from, which is why it's called beach money. Like, you can literally be anywhere at any moment and be creating this residual income for your family for generations, for years to come, if you simply persist and not put a limit, a time limit on how long it's going to take you to get there. I never put a time limit on how long it would take me to get to Diamond. I was like, what was my alternative, Raya? I was working as an assistant principal, making $54,000 a year as an assistant principal with a degree, a master's degree, had been in education for a decade. And my option would be to stop doing Plexus and continue to work in education and make maybe a 1% increase for the rest of my life. Like, that's not a viable option.
Right.
So if the time is going to pass anyway, why wouldn't you be building this on the side? And the crazy thing about it is that most people don't realize, and I love that your team is such a huge example of this. Really, our whole team is a really huge example of this. You and I are the only ones that are really just doing this from home full time. Every single other jewel on our team, they all work full time.
Yes.
They all have businesses and they have multiple jobs. You know, they own multiple businesses, and they are doing this every single day, making the sacrifices because they're doing the things that most people are not willing to do to create a life that most people will never live. And so it's just so important that you realize that when you start something like this, honest to goodness, if you don't give this minimum 5 years of consistent work, you have not started. You've totally quit on yourself. And it is really sad to see, isn't it, Raya? Don't you see people that they throw in the towel and they don't get it. They don't see what we see.
No, because I remember you used to say that, or you not used to, you do say that, how it makes you so sad when people, give up. And I understand what you mean now. I'd like
Capable people, very
it
capable.
does. And
Yeah.
yes, it does. It does. It really just, it makes me want to cry. It makes me want to cry when I know what their future does hold with this, and they walk away, or they just stop.
Yeah. And so, guys, we want to leave you guys with just a little bit more encouragement. Just persist, be consistent, do the work. You are what you become, right? That's what this is. And so take the time, especially in the slow seasons of your journey. This is a cyclical business. I talked about this today with our team. This is a cyclical business. So there are going to be ups and downs, right? And when you're in sales, that's how it is. That's how it works. That's just the name of the game. And so when you're in this type of industry and you're on this type of journey, you gotta really understand and grasp the concept that in the slow seasons of your business, that is really when you should be like digging your heels into the personal growth. Because the more you raise your leadership lid and the more you're leveraging every moment in time that maybe your business isn't blowing up, for 7 months, Raya, right? We were literally head down working our faces off, right?
Like,
because it was bananas.
Look up, like,
no, it was bananas growth. It was crazy.
Bananas.
And then now we're kind of going into that downward slope where we're ending the year and we're going into the holidays, and it typically is a slower season in our industry. And guess what? That's okay too, because we're still doing the things, but we're growing in the process. And so I just encourage anybody that's listening to this video, if you have ever thought about throwing in the towel, A, know that that's normal, but B, also know that you comparing your journey to other people, it doesn't serve you. It doesn't benefit you at all. And there are people that are specifically placed in your path, if not now, but the Lord will place in your path in the future if you simply persist. And you never know when that next person that you reach out to, if that will be the person that you will help to completely change the trajectory of their life. I reached out to Raya for 4 years, and I didn't know if she would ever join me, but I knew if she ever decided to, that her whole entire life would change. And so do you think that I would ever think about not reaching out to her? No, I didn't. I was like, I'll just continue to reach out until she says yes or tells me to kick rocks. And she never told me to kick rocks. She eventually said yes. And now her life is totally different, and so is mine.
Completely.
So it's worth it, guys. It's worth it. You just never know. I was 6 years into my journey when she joined me. So, and our whole team is totally different because you're a part of it, Raya. And so I just encourage you guys, don't let the enemy win. It's the enemy that creates those and plants those seeds of doubt. And it's your job to not water it and nurture it, and to believe the best of this journey, and to just keep moving forward every single day, because the alternative, guys, it ain't looking too good. That's all I got to tell you. Most people ain't trying to be in their 9 to 5 for the next 25 years. They're just not. Okay. And I think about that now, and then literally I almost want to weep every time I think about the other option that I would have had,
Mm-hmm.
to be going into a school building right now while my kids are virtually at home
Mm-hmm.
learning. I can't even imagine how much stress I would be under right now. So you can do this. Y'all can do this.
You can, you can, you can.
All
Yes.
right, guys. You got anything else you want to share, Raya?
No, that's perfect. I think that's a wonderful note to conclude on. Yes.
All right. Well, guys, we appreciate you guys for joining us this week, and we hope that you glean some sort of encouragement or nuggets of words of wisdom from us. And we are going to end with one of our favorite scriptures. One of the reasons why we named this YouTube channel Robin and Raya's Amazing Grace, it comes from Hebrews 12:1 and 2. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily trips us up, and let us run with endurance the race that God has set before us.
And until next time, y'all, just remember, God bless, and remember to run your best race. Thank
Bye,
y'all.
everybody.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
girl. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.